Hey guys, welcome to Vony Movies Recap. Today I will show you a South Korean crime drama from 2001 titled Bad Guy. Spoilers ahead. Watch out and take care. Before we start, please subscribe and leave a like to help the channel. Hong-gi is a gangster. One day, as he's walking down the streets, he sees a lady, Sunhwa, sitting on the bench. Hong-gi is fascinated by Sunhwa and dials up his creepiness to 100. He goes to take a seat beside her as she's lecture her boyfriend who are arriving soon. But Hong-gi doesn't care and stares at her, making Sunhwa understandably uncomfortable. She steps far from him. Just then, her boyfriend arrives and that they start chatting cheerfully. Hong-gi goes to her and forcibly kisses her, right before of everyone, even the boyfriend. He pushes Hong-gi away and yells at him. So, Hong-gi turns around to depart, but everyone surrounds him. Hong-gi is confused why his gentlemanly behavior is being disliked by everyone. When he tries to force his way through, 3 army guys grab him and beat him up. Sunhwa is so angry at him that she spits on his face. Hong-gi goes home, bloody and angry. He smashes his window because that's the foremost therapeutic method to calm yourself. Hong-gi may be a man of few words, as an injury to his throat prevents him from speaking properly. The following day, he goes to the identical place and appears for Sunhwa. He waits for a long time and at last sees her together with her boyfriend. He follows her from there and finds out everything he can about her. Sometime later, at the library, Hong-gi and his friends stare at Sunhwa. One amongst his friends goes beside her, pretending to seem at the items there. Before leaving, he places a thick wallet near her. Sunhwa looks around to work out if anyone's watching and so picks up the wallet and goes to the washroom. There, she takes her hard-earned stolen money. As she's near to leave, the purse owner comes trying to find it. He realizes that Sunhwa has it and chases her, with Sunhwa running for dear life. He finally stops her during a deserted alley. There, he says that he had a check for $10,000. She denies it, saying, "No, there was no such check." But the person is convinced she stole it and tries to require her to the station house. Sunhwa doesn't want that and says, "I'll pay it back to you." But the person needs his money now, so he suggests that she borrow some money from a moneylender. He takes her to a moneylender gang. It's Hong-gi's gang and apparently, this was all his plan, but she doesn't know this. They create her sign a document which says, if Sunhwa doesn't pay the cash, then we've got the correct to her face and body. Hong-gi is truly within the prostitution business. Sometime later, Sunhwa remains unable to pay such an oversized amount. The gangster asks her, "What is going to you or doing now?" Sunhwa runs away, but the gangster catches her and brings her to his car where he tries to force his way along with her. Hong-gi and his friends stop the person. Then, they take Sunhwa to the red light district, where prostitution runs rampant. He puts Sunhwa within the care of the top woman, Eun-hye. Eun-hye takes Sunhwa upstairs and asks her name. Sunhwa is rebellious and yells back at her. So, Eun-hye promptly slaps her. Sunhwa is shocked and becomes obedient. She tells her everything about herself. Later, Eun-hye takes Sunhwa buying new clothes. What a pleasant lady. That night, she makes Sunhwa wear those clothes and puts her on display like some doll. What an evil lady. A person chooses Sunhwa and takes her upstairs to a personal room. He tries to form love along with her, but Sunhwa has never done something like this and doesn't prefer it. Meanwhile, Hong-gi is observing them through a two-way mirror. He doesn't wish to see the man forcing himself on Sunhwa, so he tells his friends to require him away. His friends take the person away and beat him up. Customer service 0. Eun-hye asks Sunhwa, "What's the matter with you?" Sunhwa admits that she's a virgin and needs to try to it along with her boyfriend first. Hong-gi allows this. Sunhwa meets up along with her boyfriend. He asks her, "Why did you call me so suddenly?" She hugs him and prepares to form love with him. Hong-gi is nearby, watching together with his friends. He gets jealous and stops them, kicking the boyfriend away. Sometime later, Sunhwa is forced to please a customer, virgin or not. Hong-gi gets angry with Eun-hye for forcing her like that. Eun-hye replies, "This can be her life now. She'll get accustomed to it." Hong-gi has no reply thereto and leaves. Later, he finds the person who forced himself on Sunhwa and offers him a soft reminder with a robust beating. The following day, as Hong-gi and his friends have a healthy lunch of cigarettes and beer, his friend Myung admits that he likes Sunhwa, saying, "She's beautiful and I've always wanted to this point college girls." Hong-gi goes straight to Sunhwa and offers her an art book. As she looks over it, he looks at her from behind the mirror. Myung involves Sunhwa and pays for her service. After they create love, he reveals everything that Honggi did, due to which she is now here. Sunhwa gets furious and goes to him. She hits him with all her might while Honggi just stands there and takes it all. His friends stop her and take her away. To calm himself down, Honggi breaks another window. That night, as she sleeps, Honggi sneaks into her room and stares over her. Later, Myung involves Sunhwa and divulges his feelings for her, saying, "I need to marry you." Sunhwa says, "If you actually love me, then take me aloof from this place. We'll meet outside, then I'll marry you." Myung agrees. Honggi overhears everything. The following day, Myung brings her out. Honggi follows her without them realizing it. Even as she's close to enter her home, he abducts her and takes her to a beach. There, they solely sit on the sand. Sunhwa sees some torn photos there and collects all of them. When she tries to depart, Honggi forces her back to the brothel. There, she pieces the photos together to work out that none of them have heads. Sometime later, Honggi's boss also involves town. He likes Sunhwa yet and chooses her. Honggi doesn't like this and tells his friends to require him out. The boss is furious and a fight ensues. Within the fight, Honggi winds up killing a person. The boss gets scared and calls a truce, saying, "Let's not take this anymore." Honggi accepts the truce. But later, the boss sends an assassin who stabs Honggi right before of Sunhwa. But, thankfully, he gets proper treatment on time and survives. When he comes back, Sunhwa looks at him concernedly. At night, a corrupt policeman comes to require his bribes from the world. One in every of Honggi's friends, Yun, doesn't like him. Especially how he's bossy and mocks Yun. So, that night, Yun kills him in his sleep. Honggi gets angry at him for doing this. Yun may be put in jail and he has an old father to require care of. Despite Yun's protests, Honggi takes the blame and goes to jail in his place. Thanks to the burden of his previous records, Honggi gets the death sentence. Sunhwa is unhappy to listen to this and asks to satisfy Honggi. So, Yun takes her there. Sunhwa yells at Honggi saying, "You probably did this to me, and you're just visiting Dai now? Initiate and fix this." On the way back, Yun releases Sunhwa saying, "You don't must return there to hell." But, Sunhwa hits him as she doesn't want to travel home. A replacement policeman involves their area and he's as corrupt because the previous one. Yun plans to kill him, enter prison, and make Honggi tell the reality in order that he are released. So, he kills the policeman together with his bare hands. Even as planned, he's taken to prison. There, Honggi is simply on the point of be taken for his death sentence. So, Yun beats up his cellmates, forcing the guards to open the door. Yun does an Uno reverse of him and goes outside, where he beats up Honggi, screaming, "Tell them the reality. Bring the prosecutor. I used to be the one who killed the policeman." Soon after, Honggi is released. He goes to Sunhwa's room and lights a hearth for Sunhwa to determine. Sunhwa sees this and breaks the window. She is happy to determine Honggi alive and beats him while also crying gaily. The following day, Honggi takes her back to the bench where it all started. She holds his hand, but he gently pushes it away and leaves, finally freeing her from himself. Myung is angry with Honggi for doing this and that they get into a fight. When Honggi isn't looking, Myung stabs him and leaves him to die. But, Honggi is one tough prick. He manages to select himself up and acquire the right treatment. For the second time within a month he survives a vicious stabbing. Elsewhere, Sunhwa is unable to bring herself to travel back home. So, she wanders the town. She goes to the beach and finds the missing pieces to the photos. There, she sees that Honggi's former lover looked exactly like Sunhwa. She joins the images and keeps them along with her. Sometime later, Honggi goes to the beach and stares dead set sea. Sunhwa involves him and sits beside him. Honggi is surprised, but hugs her, nonetheless. We then see Honggi preparing a bed inside a truck. They're going to some fishermen. Sunhwa makes love with one among them to earn some money while Honggi waits for them. After they're done, they share a cigarette before leaving. Since everyone thinks that Honggi is dead and Sunhwa won't be going back to her home, they are going elsewhere secluded to guide new lives. Subscribe for more videos like this, turn on the notification, and leave a like to help the channel, and don't forget to let me know how you feel about today's video in the comments down below. Thank you for watching.